Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I hope you guys are having another awesome day. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. I want to thank you guys for the unbelievable support that this channel has been getting over the past week and a half. I'm seeing that we are more than 400 times our views from 3 weeks ago till these past 2 weeks, week and a half, 2 weeks in that area. And the amount of support that this channel is getting right now has been awesome between the videos and reels that I've been posting. So keep it up. I'm glad to be building wealth side by side with you. And I'm glad that the messages I'm putting out are being perceived and they're helping to gain a little bit more knowledge for those people that may be seeking it, but then also giving us all an opportunity to grow together. And what I want to talk about today to kind of branch off that is somebody that might just be starting in investing. What would be a good investment for them, and a smart investment and a safe investment? And if you've never invested before, I posted plenty of videos on this just to let you know and give you just a brief tidbit of the first thing that you need to be thinking about is what are you okay investing and then potentially losing. But if you have that already hammered and you say, hey, I know I can put 2% in or 5% or 10% of my wealth or even more, awesome, you know what that number is. But then what does the next step look like? Now that I have that number, what would be a investment that would be safe for me, but something that I can also be dependent on moving forward to help me start on that path toward wealth? And I think if we're looking at this from a risk standpoint, the safest is going to be the stock market. Now, a lot of people, what they'll do is they won't be used to investing, but they'll hear about the gains that crypto is making or the day traders are making, and they'll want to jump on this money making because so many people are buying Shiba Inu and so many people are buying Dogecoin and all this. But understand that there's a lot of swings in cryptocurrency. So that's why I always recommend, if you're brand new to investing, you don't want to start in cryptocurrency. The swings are just too much. If you want to start at a very basic step in something that is a safer investment and that doesn't have a lot of swings, you always start in the stock market. And of course, there's a wide range of stocks that you can get invested into, but I'll just give you a couple that will kind of help you depending on where you're at right now. So what I mean by where you're at is, let's just say that you want to start with something that maybe something that isn't too outrageously priced, but something that you know will gain consistently over time. So these are stocks that are going to be less than $100. I would say probably the safest ones under $100 would be companies like Coca-Cola. That's a fantastic one to get into. One of the reasons why I like Coca-Cola is because it's always consistent and they're always acquiring new brands. They just acquired Body Armor, which is going to be massive for them, and it's going to give them a bigger portion of market share, which means that the stock is only going to grow from where it is. So that's big for them, and they're consistent. But also dividends as well. And this is kind of a bonus for you. There's a video I made on dividends, but basically, if you have Coca-Cola, you get a kickback for owning Coca-Cola stock. So it's kind of like a bonus for holding that stock. So you're benefiting twofold in the Coca-Cola game. You're benefiting from the stock actually going up over time, but then also you are benefiting from the dividends as well. Now, another good investment would be mutual funds or EFTs. And there's a wide range of them out there. Do your research on EFTs and index funds, but index funds are always a very safe investment because they consistently gain over time. Index funds are basically a company that invests in a wide range of other companies. So maybe it's an S&P index where they're invested in some of the top 500 companies in the market, and you get little bits of ownership of each one of those companies. Or they have some that are specifically for real estate, or they have some that are specifically for technology or what have you. These index funds are basically little bits of stock that you get from a wide range of companies in that industry. And for the most part, index funds are very safe investments, and they will net an average that's going to increase. So the average between them is about 2 to 10% every year, depending on the index fund. So it gains 2 to 10% every year. So they're pretty safe investments overall. Now, there are other companies too that you can invest into that have a low stock price right now, that have high upside potential. But again, this is just dependent on your belief in the actual company itself. So it's hard for me to just pinpoint one or two. But as an example of some that have just absolutely exploded in the past, Robinhood is a fantastic one. That one absolutely exploded out of the gate. Another one is going to be a company like Coinbase. Coinbase absolutely exploded out of the gate. And obviously those ones were bound to, because it was investing apps. So these are apps that people were using anyways. And if you can get involved, if you can invest in an investing app, why wouldn't you? So there's always new stock coming along too, that if you have belief in it, usually the price of it starts low when it's initially introduced for public offering. But after that is when it really starts to see its growth over time as it starts to prove itself. So the stock market is always the safest investment to get started with in the beginning. Now, of course, there are other risky investments too when it comes to the stock market that I'm not going to touch on, but you want to do your due diligence when it comes to what you're looking to achieve with your gains in the stock market, because you can be really conservative, you can be really aggressive, or you can be very passive and just play it safe. So you want to figure out that risk tolerance too, and that will tell you some of the best stocks out there for you. But that's usually the best way to get started, is in the stock market for your initial investment, because there is very basic information that you need to have in the stock market. And then once you start to get better and better and better at the stock market, that's when you can start to branch out and put your money into other investments as well. So I hope this video helped you guys. This one was a little bit longer than the other ones have been in the past couple weeks. But again, I appreciate you guys' support so much. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, definitely do so. Other than that, I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. Take care.